Hi, I'm the son of Elizabeth Ann Genthner, or as you guys know her, as Betsy Kosher. I'm sorry that I couldn't be there, but I had an unfortunate stroke. It's keeping me from flying, but I'm getting better every day, and I should be fine pretty soon. I want to talk to you about the memories of my mom. The first and earliest one is when she took me to Europe when I was just 4 years old. She was only 24. We first stopped in London, England. When our TWA flight landed at Heathrow Airport, we headed straight to the British Leyland factory, where we waited for a brand new yellow MG that was coming right off the line. We hopped in that little yellow convertible and started our adventures. She took me on a trip across Europe to Germany and Austria to see my relatives on my father's side. When we came back, we went through Switzerland and into Calais, France, where we dropped the car off at a shipyard that was going to take it to the USA for our next adventure. We had the greatest time and the most memorable adventure, just her and I, in Europe. It was the summer of 1970, and she took me on another magical road trip. I was 5 and she was 25. As we hit the road going to California, she didn't even tell her parents until we got there. I'm sure that Sam and Lil were not thrilled by the great road trip that I just experienced, but we made it and we made it back. We slept in rest areas and in the car on the side of the road. To kill our boredom, we would take turns making up stories. The first thing we saw, like a cow or an old house or a horse even, would start our creativity flowing. I wish I could remember some of those stories because they were good. We drove to Ojai, California, where a friend of hers named Marcy lived in a house in the middle of an orange grove and grapefruit. Many mornings we would have freshly picked grapefruits and oranges for breakfast. She also took me to Disneyland, my first memory of a Disney park, one that I will never forget. After that, she drove us to San Francisco, where we stayed for a couple nights. One unforgettable night, she drove us across the Golden Gate Bridge. Couldn't say a thing due to my size and the cold wind blowing the fog, but on the other side, we turned around in Marin County, and it turned out to be a very prophetic trip for me. The reason why is I've lived in Marin County now for the past 34 years. What a trip she took me on. It had a real effect on my life. I spent those adventurous years with my mom living in a little house on Bliss Street. It was Mom, me, and our cat named Sam. Mom loved cats, especially Siamese cats, which Sam was. During this time, I remember being taken to Primary and Cole School one day, a school in Ludlow where she first taught. I saw her standing next to a truck filled with animals. It was a truck from the old Forest Park Zoo. The truck had come to her school, to provide a hands-on experience for all the students. She wanted a hands-on learning experience for all her kids. The zookeepers would bring animals out of the truck for the kids to see and interact with. There were foxes and owls, rabbits, and some snakes as well. The snakes weren't for snuggling, they were just for touching and handling for the brave kids. I remember my mom standing there really enjoying her kids' reactions, and it made her really happy. We weren't alone forever, though. When I was 8, my mom married William Paul Kosher. Most of you know him as Dr. Bill Kosher. We then moved from Bliss Street to Blisswood Village. I then attended Chapin Street School, where my mom was teaching and taught most of her career, a school that she loved. I remember that her and many of her students' favorite educational experience was teaching and learning about volcanoes. Her students learned about andesitic and basaltic volcanoes as they built one out of steel mesh and paper mache. When the volcano was complete, she would have a special event where she mixed the ingredients. That then would turn into a pouring and explosive volcano. The ingredients erupted. It was a great experience for everybody there. My mom was happy, and the students had a learning experience that they probably would never forget. It was clear that my mom loved teaching, and she loved kids. She wanted to earn a PhD in science education. She was always striving to be the best teacher she could be. In retirement, she continued teaching. She had an art gallery in downtown Ludlow called Rutabaga. At the gallery, she taught art classes to kids, from painting to drawing, from watercolors to oil paint. She taught it all. Later, a garage was built at her home on Bridle Road that had an art gallery attached to it, so she could continue teaching art to her kids. She really loved teaching. It was her passion. She never stopped teaching. She loved the rewards of interaction, and she loved the smiles on the kids' faces. In final thought, my mom came to me through a thoughtful meditation I had one day. She sent a message to everyone. It's a message of love and kindness. She wishes all of you to spend some time loving someone or even something. She hopes that all of you can spread love to each other and to the world. Her hope is for a better world of peace, kindness, respect, and love. Thanks very much.